Hey friends, we are looking at the Magic Bookends made by Tokmoc. It's set number 66009 and it has 1,488 pieces. And this is a Book Nook set. Sorry, not a Book Nook set, bookends. So that means they split apart like that. And you can put books in between them and then push this together to hold those books in place. And there are also books that look like real life-size books. And they're also like a street scene. So you can see it comes with two minifigures and there's an interior for one of these books. And we will do a 360 in this video, and then we'll zoom in, we'll take a look at the interior, the exterior, we'll look at some of the details there. All right, so, and there's some quirks too with the structure. There were a couple places where I did not enjoy building this, so I'll talk about that too. All right, so you can see it has 5 books, 2 small ones that are on either end that are just sitting there. 2 minifigures, this nice cobblestone sidewalk area with steps up to one of the books. This is the book that has a full interior, and the other ones are hollow. They're just built up, but there's not a interior. You get a little black cat. There's a birdhouse and another minifigure here, and we'll take a closer look at those minifigs too. There's a nice like autumnal tree. Went together fairly quickly, not too bad. And then there's these random gifts under the tree: a mushroom, a couple of flowers, and 2 pumpkins in a little treasure chest. And there are stickers throughout, so almost every decoration you see is a sticker. And they say really strange things. You'll see in my unboxing the sticker sheet. This one says, even the tiniest individual can alter destiny, which I feel like might come from a Hobbit or a Tolkien book. And then you see the Lord of the Dots is on the spine of that particular book. This one's the worst. It says Harry book. It doesn't make any sense. And it says, after all this time, always. So really weird. This book here says Aloha Mora. This one says Magic House. This one says Spell Book. And then turning all the way around, oh, by the way, on the side, you can see they've used these masonry bricks here to just give it a feel of it being an actual building. And then turning it around to the back, you'll see that they've accomplished the illusion of pages using stickers. So this is like a really big sticker sheet. Big sticker, 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 sticker. And of course, the stickers go across multiple parts. And one of the interesting things about this set is it has drawers. So you have these little hidden compartments. So you could put a couple rings in there or a key or something like that. And this one also has a compartment. So it's like a full length compartment that goes through there. Whoever thought of that, that was clever. That was kind of cool. All right, and then some flora that's hanging off the side of this particular building. Okay, let's zoom in, take a closer look. Here's the first set of books. You see the little steps, little purple orbs on each side of that door, and a nice black cat. And this door, although it opens, can I open it? Oh, there we go. It doesn't have anything inside. It's totally hollow in there. And it's hollow all the way up. And of course, there's that drawer, so it sort of gets in the way too. And we saw this tree just a second ago. So here's a closer look at the tree, the birdhouse, the mushroom, and those presents. It's weird that there's presents there. I don't know why they're sitting out there. I like the construction of the tree. It's not bad. And there's a little dove sitting up in the top of that tree, and it's got printed eyes. And then off to the side here, you'll see those pumpkins. They're just free floating there, and they don't quite fit inside that chest, so they can fall out pretty easily. And then here's that book. And this book, I had so much trouble assembling this book, and I will show you the instructions in a second. But the problem with this book is that the inner parts right here, here, and here, they're not held in properly. So I'll show you in the instructions what I mean by that. Here's how they're assembled. So they're put together with just the bare minimum number of studs, and then you're supposed to then take that entire section and push it into the spine with the bare minimum number of studs. And there's nothing holding it in place for the rest of this. The only place where they're touching is right here. So that means that if you handle this and start to move it a little bit, like just push it slightly, it'll completely pop out. And then good luck getting it back in place once it's popped out. It is forever out of geometry. And it has a lot more connections here because I had to go in and add my own connections. That was the only way for me to assemble this, because I had to go in there and add my own bricks to reinforce everything here. So there's probably like 5 new bricks that I've added in order to make this stable enough to that I could actually reassemble it. It was so frustrating to try and assemble this the first time. I had to take a break because I was kind of upset. All right, so that was that one. You can then, with that guy removed, you can see the side of the building. And what did I do? I think I added one stud here, one stud right there, just to kind of keep that book in place because it was free floating and I wanted to have it kind of register to a spot. And then this book came together okay. It's not perfect, but these books they're definitely on the slightly fragile side of it. You know, I mean, I could pick the whole thing up from that book, so it's not terrible, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be able to have the weight of other books next to it. And it may not support other books, heavy books. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you have light books that you're putting next to it, or books that can stand on their own, I think you'll be okay. All right, let's move that out of the way. We'll get to this next group of 3 books, and we'll zoom in a little bit too. So there you see there's an owl on that first one. You get a look at our second minifigure. He's got a beard and he's got like a staff too. There's a sconce there and another door. This door opens up, and when you open that up, it actually does have an interior inside. It's got a table and different things happening. We'll take a look at that. And this door opens also, but like the other book, it's hollow inside. And I'm not sure what this is. This little guy right here, I think is a snail. Does that look like a snail to y'all? I think that is a snail. And let's see, as we're here, you can see that there's this upper floor, and there are these windows here, and then there are window panes here, and these are, the bricks were so loose that they just hang there. So gravity would just have it open up. There's no friction whatsoever on these, which is a little weird. I haven't encountered that before. And then, like the other book, this one is free floating, and in order to assemble this book, I also had to add my own parts because it was just so difficult to get these pressed in place. It was very frustrating. All right, and then you can see the side of that building, and then here's a close-up look at the drawer on this one. So it's like shaped like a little tiny wreath, and you just pull it, and there you go. It's a lot of space. You can put, do I have a minifigure? We can put a minifigure in there, and he might actually fit. Oh, his hat's not going to fit, but it's a lot of space. And look at how well things line up, as you know, with the stickers, and that's because the stickers, they did a pretty good job printing the stickers so that there would be a kind of a seamless look to it. So I appreciate them doing that. And the same goes for this one too. The stickers do an okay job aligning, and then this drawer is, I think it's exactly the same size as the other book. Okay, and then let's open up this guy here. To open it up, this entire side panel pulls off. So I'm just going to pull it, and it's held in place with two studs right there. And you can see, the interior. It has a fireplace, fire, a mantle, trophy, um, and I think these might be printed pieces. All four of these, I want to say they are. So you get a crest, you get images of the two minifigures that are included, and then you get a little clock. And then here's the interior. Let's zoom in. So in the interior, there's these little logs, and there's a table, and the table has an envelope and a inkwell, and they are not attached to anything, which is a little maddening. So they just sit there. And then there is a bookshelf behind it, so you can see all those books, nicely done. And there is a caped golden mini like micro figure right here that's on the mantle. So it's like maybe it's a little statue that they have there. And on that bookcase, I like that there's a suggestion of drawers as well. And then above that bookcase, you'll see there's a sword with the tiniest sword handle, and there's a tiny golden gun that's on the other corner there. And there is a sign here. It says, what does it say? The elf, comma, house? Something like that. That's what it says. And there is a second floor balcony. And in that second floor, you'll see a hat and then a bunch of different potions along the back wall with glassware, and then a lot more potions and glassware along the top. And then there is a mounted like deer head on that wall too. And those little eye pieces, they are printed pieces, and they're unique per side. So this one is different than the printed piece on the other side. So if you ever are looking for printed eye pieces, these are unique ones, and they are different per each side. That was kind of unexpected. So I don't know, maybe they sourced them from another set or something like that. All right, so that is the interior for it. Here's a look at the two minifigures, which I feel like these could almost pass for Lego minifigures. That's the elf, and he's got pretty good printing all around him. And let's look at the back. Printing on the back too. The reason I think they could almost pass for Lego ones is the friction, the clutch of the hands inside the arms and the hips. They're all pretty good. They're not too loose. That's what I've encountered. And they're not too tight either. So they're not bad. And then here's our wizard friend. And it's got, the wizard has this scepter with that gem on the top of his staff. And he's got a nice purple hat. He's wearing glasses. He's got a bushy beard. Oh, and the printing on his robe is not bad either. It's got multiple layers of color and design there. And on the back, a little bit of design there too. Neither of these have any heads on the backs of their main head. They just have the single head. All right, closing thoughts. So the design of this, I think, is pretty good. It's probably like a 4 out of 5. And when I mean design, I mean how the model presents itself when it's looking at it. When you're looking at it and it's sitting on a shelf, it's unique. It's got a good concept, good use of color, and the minifigures add a little bit of perspective and scale to it. And you can put your own in there. And if you don't want this to be magic themed, you could put just normal street characters on it too. The other judgment I would make is probably around the engineering. So this is how were the pieces assembled, and what choices did they make in the construction of it? And there I have to give it a 1 out of 5. It was they're very poor decisions being made. It only gets a 1 because they managed to add secret drawers in the back of it, but I mean, it wouldn't have cost them very much to add additional pieces to make these two side books a little stronger. It just wouldn't have cost them much. And then the entire front of this is just really fragile. It's even as I was preparing this video, I found new things where it had kind of um, come undone, and I hadn't even handled it very much. So there's strange things that strange decisions that they made there. Um, and then, as with most Tokmoc sets, you get some complimentary spare parts. I didn't have to dig into these at all, so you can add these to your own collection or whatever. And if you were to buy this set, you could, I mean, ironically, none of these parts will really help you reinforce those two books. You need like parts that are probably 2x2 in order to do it. So that's too bad. And then here's a look at that brick separator. Okay, so I hope you got to see everything you wanted to see. And if you like the video, please like it if you like it. And if you could subscribe, that helps me keep finding interesting sets. Thank you very much.